That's why I say that's why the American government and the Congress was so psychotic against me because basically I'm the real Lucifer. You know, it's like I say, I could pull up history and photographs and be like this right here. This with this people, those were my people. Like I said, that's why all my White Star Line captains. That's why you have all the pictures of the White Star Line captains because I had all my people photographed. If you work for me, you got a photograph. Like I said, that's why I'm Lucifer Star of photographs and film and cameras and everything else like that and that's why you know who captained the Titanic, the Lusitania, and the Leviathan, and all these other White Star Line ships. Like I said, they called it Concorde and blah blah blah, but that was because Concorde, what it was we were doing the Concorde air travel service basically. So, like I said, just like Lusitania had an aircraft that went with it and hotels and ships that went with it. The Concorde had the Concorde jets or Concorde jet basically, or I don't think it was faster than sound before. It was basically something else, Concorde or something. I forget exactly what the details were, but basically, you know, a lot of my ships also had aircraft that went with them. So you could go by ship or you could go by aircraft, and you'd stay in like Concorde hotels or blah blah blah. And I did the same thing with I think the Lusitania. Like three of my travel service, basically they had hotels, car or stage coaches or cars, and also or buses, and also hotels that went with them, resorts basically. So you'd buy a ticket for like the Titanic, and you would get on basically a coach service that would take you to a hotel, and you'd stay in the hotel, and then you'd go be transferred over to the Titanic or the Concorde, ship service or aircraft, blah blah blah. I was doing this whole thing where basically, I was doing a complete, travel vacation practice package. And it kind of started out back in the old stagecoach days and with old square riggers or whatever else like that, where you would basically, you'd buy a ticket on like probably Western Union or something like that, and basically they would take you by stagecoach and you would go to the docks and then you would get on one of my ships and then you would go across the ocean and then you would stay in a hotel or stay in a place or city that is mine basically. And basically they would protect you and all that other stuff with my laws and my rules, and basically, you would be, you know, in that. That's why they would say upper class, blah blah, but it was actually my hotels, my resorts, basically. And then the local people would be paid finances and money, basically, to take care of the people in the hotels, blah 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 blah. Anyway, it gets all complicated, and basically, it's ancient history, pretty much. So anyway, and that's why I had mines and was trying to do travel and like the stores and stuff like that, and also like I said, my farms would put food on my ships and basically feed the people that were the passengers on my ships, and also be transporting cargo. I did passenger service and cargo basically kind of together, where it's like a little bit of each. It depends. And then later on, as cargo got more and more and more, as more and more ships started going across, and there were just cargo ships, of course, too. But anyway, whatever. And people got more and more luggage and blah 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 blah. So anyway, so it gets all complicated. And if you wanted, I could basically, I could basically walk you through the photographs and basically the whole property records. Basically, be like, here, these pictures. It's all me. It's all Lucifer White Star Lines. Those are my decisions. Those are my people. Like I said, that's why Carnegie wasn't really. He was just manager. He was a member of a 16-member board or 12-member board or something like that. He was just a manager of one part of basically what is Lucifer White Star. Anyway, later on, like I said, I just kind of like, because it was getting confusing. It was like, because it was basically the whole world was Lucifer Star. So it's like, okay, I need to ship to, or I need people to go to, and it's like, oh God. Let's see. It's all Lucifer Star. No, this isn't gonna work. It's like, it's all Lucifer Star though. So like, I just kind of like started like, okay, Unit 731, blah 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 blah, and like I'd remember Unit 4, Unit 5, Unit 8, and then there'd be other names and stuff like that. because it's like I'm a world conglomerate and I'm a conglomerate throughout the galaxy and the universe. So it's like, okay, I need this done, and so it just got too confusing to me for me. I used to do all the decisions myself, and it's like, oh, I can't do this. Um, it's like which Cosmos city does it need to go to? One, two, or three, or four? There are five of them, or something like that. It's like, oh, I can't do this. So it gets like that, and we're like Unit 731 or Unit 4 is like all of China. It's like, okay, which sector of China? So where basically it's everywhere. So that's why I was just thinking, and it's like, okay, which leader, which White Star Line ship? Because like I have 7 of them or 6 of them, or so, and that's why we started doing Concorde, Lusitania, Titanic, Olympic, and just kind of like trying to be so they could say your ship went down. Okay, which ship? It's like, oh, the Titanic went down. Okay, the Titanic, the RMS Titanic. Okay, and stuff like that. For me, it makes sense to me basically a little bit. Like I said, it gets all confusing as basically we're talking about 2,500 generations or more. So anyway, though, but yeah, creator of the stock market. The best part of Germany, when Germany first went, that was basically my ideas being carried out, and then pretty much then Germany went as I went off to do I was pursuing other things, Russia and other things like that, and then basically Germany was having some problems, so I was like and that's also why we were doing higher technological and aircraft, because Germany was one of my best places. They had the highest education. They had sworn absolute devotion. I own them, so I was like, well, I own them already, so I might as well do them. But I didn't forget about Belfast, of course, because I still love Belfast and all that. And like I said, when I became Brian, I was like, oh yeah, my Belfast, my shale yards, and stuff like that. And like I say, the shale yard originally, the ships couldn't get up in there, and they had to dredge it or blast it or something like that. The water table used to be lower and stuff like that. Like I said, Belfast used to be up high on the mountain, and then the water level slowly rose up there. Whatever. It gets all confusing, and basically, where I'm basically dealing with things, and then I'm going on epic space cruises, as the LSF-A, and basically pursuing other things throughout the galaxy and the universe. And that's why basically when I was contacted, I was out there in space, and I was contacted about basically, I think Jimmy Carter basically, or someone saying, cast out Lucifer, the Defiler. He'll take your children. On a public access channel. Every day you'd come and have like 5 tapes for this poor little girl, and you'd try and sleep with this girl that was a secretary for the public access station, basically. And basically he would have all these sermons about casting out Lucifer and all this stuff. And I was on another planet. I was like, like 200, like a couple million light years out there, basically. And basically somebody said, you need to take a look at this. And they said, well, it's actually like 34 years or 134 years out of date. Like it takes them 34 years just to get out to us. Like, oh, great. Where is it? Let's go. So anyway, because like cast out Lucifer. Do they even know my name still down there? And it's like, Lucifer Star, me? The creator? The one who blah blah, and like I said, I think it was like Jimmy Carter or someone. So anyway, I was like way the hell out there. We got a signal or something like that, and I was working with another planet, out there in the universe, and basically they were telling me about how this guy was like cast out Lucifer, and I was like, how does he even know my name? So anyway, I'm LSF-A, and the one with the deepest, longest space missions underneath his belt and all that, and epic existence. So anyway, And then so I came back, of course. So anyway, to check it out and see what's going on. Straighten things out and basically be like, well, I'm actually your creator and blah, 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 blah. And one who, voted the best civilization builder in the universe or the galaxy. And basically responsible for Earth and other planets. I also work with other life form types and all kinds of other stuff, or at least I did. And, I'm basically a leader, the leader, or something like that. Like I said, I just know my own involvement with my own planets and my own decisions. I don't really know about the complete total universe. It's a bit much, even for me. So, anyway, but I have my planets like Earth and other planets, and it gets all confusing as I mix them up. Like I said, 400 planets and other life forms and all kinds of other stuff. You get a little confused about the, okay, this is this planet, this is planet number 89 or planet. And honestly, I lost track. And after a while, I was just kind of like doing blanket, where I was like, okay, I'm going to teach these people, and then you can go back and teach the rest of you. I can't do every planet. That would take too long. I just can't. But so I'd teach groups, and then they would go and teach others, and blah blah. And so I work with some, and basically as epic Lusifer Star. So anyway, and finally, Earth came back to Earth. So this is one of my favorites, I think, or something like that, or at least the planet I got trapped on, or something. Whatever. It's like, well, once you go exponential, there's not really no going back, I don't think. Maybe. Could happen.